All right, we're live.
Are we live?
Yeah,
This is a
episode 7.
figment of our imagination.
Is it?
Is it? What up, Theodore? Here's
up?
our friendly neighborhood talk, our friend talk.
We've been getting a lot of emails and comments lately about. I say a lot. I think we got two emails since the last episode about people appreciating the fact that this podcast is like us just hanging out as friends. So we're gonna keep it that way.
The great thing is that that's what we do outside of the podcast. So it's just really extra.
Yeah, literally, this podcast was started as like Nico and I had talks about basically SEO stuff and business ideas, and we're like, why don't we just record this and see if other people like listening? So now we've kind of oriented around topics that kind of have themes. So like today's topic is going to be monetization, and I've done some research on websites on how they monetize those websites. So hopefully, I learned some stuff when I did this research. Hopefully, I can share that research with Nico, and he can learn something, and then you, as a listener, can also learn some things. So how's that for an intro?
Are you tired? You seem a little tired.
I'm a little tired.
You're not hey everybody, welcome to
It's later in the day. I think that's it. Also, for my birthday, my wife got me this mug. It's completely copper, but it's a little bit smaller. And so I went from my normal 2 cups of coffee to like 1.25 cups now. So that might be it too.
The heated one, right? It heats up.
You like push a button on the bottom and it stays warm for like 3 or 4 hours or something like that. So that's super cool.
That's fun.
It is.
Yeah, nice. I was like, you were like, and today we'll be talking about this and this, and we're just friends.
We got to get amped up. I got to drink some water.
Oh, I got the Dr. Pepper.
Uh-oh. That's
yes, today was about monetization. Something that's not going too well for yours truly, but seems to be going well for Theodore over there.
I got approved on that website that gets like 10 clicks a day. So, and Nico's
I got denied on the website that does 30 clicks a day.
Actually, I said 10 clicks a day. I meant 10 clicks a month. Like an entire month, I get 10 clicks, and that website got approved. It's made like 15 cents right now, which is crazy. Oh, we forgot to do something. We were going to open this episode up with me sharing. Let's see if I can get to the analytics part. Hopefully, this is the right analytics. Our channel stats. Look at this. I think this is something we're going to start doing every episode. Oh, by the way, Nico, are you on Wi-Fi or Ethernet?
I am on Ethernet now.
All right, you're good. So these are our channel stats. You can see the channel is growing. If you want to be a part of this, if you want to help the channel grow faster, feel free to click the subscribe button and the like button. Those really help the channel grow. You can see the subs have been growing pretty steadily. But the views have really started booming. And this is when I started posting some shorts and dedicated videos. You can see here, basically, we just started posting a lot more. And that's really led to growth. Yeah, we just wanted to make this maybe a regular part of the podcast where we just share what the channel's doing, what we're succeeding with it.
Where are we at monetization-wise, since this is an episode over monetization?
Yeah, so for this YouTube channel, let me just go like ever. We need 4,000 watch hours and 1,000 subscribers. So we're definitely going to hit the subs way faster than the watch time because we're about 1/3 of the way there here and about 1/8 of the way there here. I probably shouldn't do math in my head online, but so we're going to hit subs really fast. And then watch time, we've got to get 4,000. So yeah, we got to like 8 times this, maybe 7 or 6 times this.
I think like 6, yeah.
But we'll get there. And it's just a matter of time. Like we just got to keep posting content. You can see we're just keep going up. And also the podcast episodes really help because they're like an hour long as opposed to like an 8-minute video. So that really helps our watch time. That's probably also we have a really high sub rate, which is a good thing. A lot of channels get a ton of views and then don't get any subs. So I'm glad that we're not struggling with that. That's a sign that our content is actually useful.
That's how my blog's YouTube channel is going, is there's views and no subs. So
what do you think is causing that? Actually, I will say with your channel's
purposeful content that's very to like one person each video.
Yeah, it's like there's not a reason for them to come back yet. Is that right?
Mm-mm. No, there is not.
We definitely have nailed that with DoubleCommaDreams though, because there's people saying they're excited for the next podcast episode, which is exciting to me. That people like are excited to listen to us talk again.
Yeah, I am. I enjoy our conversations. It's always fun taking what we talk about outside into the public. But let's get into the meat of this crap, because this is why people are here.
Yeah, so there are many ways to monetize your website. We're actually going to go through a bunch. The very first way is something called display ads. So display ads is whenever you view a website and you know how there's like ads. Hold on, let me remove this real quick so you can see the whole thing. You know how there's ads whenever you go to a website, they're just like there, up there. Sometimes they pop up at the bottom of the screen. Sometimes when you click a link, the whole thing turns into an ad and you got to exit out of it. Those are called display.
Sorry, keep going, my bad.
Yeah, those are called display ads. And they make money from whoever is hosting that website. So I just wanted to share, there are a couple of different places if you have a website that you can apply to for them to put what ads on your website, and then eventually they can pay you. The first one is Google AdSense, which this is kind of a starter one. I don't really recommend this. There's a lot of better ad networks out there that give you more customer like support, and they actually make ads that are specific to your niche. But AdSense does an okay job, and I actually thought this was really interesting. I found this tweet that I liked. This person is getting, for every 1,000 page views, they're making $268, which the average is like 15 to 30. So 268, they're doing something right. Whatever niche they're in or whatever they're doing with AdSense, that's amazing. I will say a lot of people, if they have AdSense and they switch to Ezoic, they make more money. So it would be interesting to see. I wonder why this person hasn't switched to anything else. It's obviously working for them. But anyways, AdSense, AdWords is one of the first places that you can sign up to and get basically approved and then start serving ads. But what a lot of people do is they skip AdSense and they go right to Ezoic. So I've actually got a website here that is monetized with Ezoic. If you watch my income reports, this is actually site number 2. And you can see they show you all kinds of information like how many page views you get per day, along with how much money you've earned in that day. And Ezoic does not have the best customer support. In fact, they're known for not having good customer support. You've basically got to set up the ads yourself. I will say what Ezoic does really well is basically accept anyone. So actually, Nico's struggling with this a little bit right now.
Well, Ezoic accepted me. Google's bending me over at the moment.
That's true. That's true.
Wow.
Google just hasn't approved. You just keep reapplying, you'll get it. But a lot of people use Ezoic because they can have 5 visitors a month. Like I mentioned, my other website that has like 10 page views a month. I'll actually switch to it. I'll have to blur a whole bunch of stuff out, but let me switch to it really quick. It's 45 page visits and 14 cents, which, oh, look at that. Yesterday, I actually made 3 pennies, which is exciting.
I would love to make 3 pennies in a day at this point.
It's so thrilling to me to see those first couple pennies come in, because I know in like a year, 5 years, I'm gonna look back and be like, man, I remember those days. So you can actually see here the cash rate is actually really low too. I'm assuming this is just because there's only 45 people. But if we go back to my other website that's actually making a decent, like $100, $120 a month, the cash rate is actually up there. And this has to do with like they actually help speed your site up because when you load ads, it's a bunch of information that for the server to send to whoever is visiting. And so it usually slows your stuff down. Well, Ezoic came up with this really interesting technology that basically caches it for you. And you can see here I am passing on mobile and desktop, and that's super cool. I had to really tweak the settings on Ezoic to get this to happen, but it is possible. Like I'm passing Core Web Vitals and I'm monetized with Ezoic. So that's what I like about Ezoic is that they help you pass Core Web Vitals. If you don't tweak these things, Ezoic, I think by default is really bad. Like most people do not pass. I had to change a bunch of stuff. But yeah, do you have any questions about Ezoic? I think you're really close to getting monetized with Ezoic, by the way.
I hope. I'm only 5 months in, but I would really love to see some type of income on the 30 to 50 visits I'm getting a day now.
That's really impressive at like the 5 to 6 month mark, by the way.
Yeah, it's looking beautiful. I'm ready for this traffic report next month. You're actually doing $100 a month and you get about 300 a day. Is that what that's looking like?
Yeah, about that, around 300. Yesterday I almost hit 400. So yeah, in my EPM,
how many posts?
There's like 350 right now. But you can actually, so you can see the daily here. And I've actually got something called Ezoic Premium, which we can talk about that for a minute. It's really interesting. You pay Ezoic money, and then because you've paid them money, they're like, hey, they paid us money, we should give them better ads. And so they give you better ads to earn more money back. And the clause is you'll always make more money than what you pay them. It's just kind of it's interesting. I don't know why they don't just take the money out of the ads anyways and give it to everybody. But anyways, you can see here Ezoic used to have like pretty high EPMVs. I'm not actually sure why these were so high back then. Now they've kind of dropped down to 10 and 15. And like I said, if you want to squeeze more money out of someone that visits your page, the ranking usually goes like AdSense, Ezoic, Monumetric, and then Mediavine. And Mediavine's up there with AdThrive, but I don't have AdThrive, so I can't confirm that. And speaking of that, we can actually go into Monumetric. So this is Monumetric. I have a website with this. It's not doing very well. And this website actually is making a lot less than if it was on Ezoic. But I think that's just because I don't have it optimized. And the people that visit are super targeted and don't like ads without giving the niche away. So you can see here $60 in the last month with 19,000 page views. That's a really low RPM. Actually, I think this says $5. Super low. It's actually, I've actually disabled ads on some pages on this for specific reasons that I don't want to get into in this video, but there's actually probably only 15,000 page views that are actually monetized. So this session RPM is actually wrong. But you can actually see what Monumetric, I just wanted to like pull this up here and show that I did have a website with Monumetric. I had another website, but I switched it over to Mediavine, and we'll get to that in a second. But Monumetric, they have a little bit better support. Actually, I will say they have a lot better support than Ezoic. It's not hard to beat Ezoic. They don't give you any support, really. Even their forums are hard to like ask questions and stuff on. But so this is Monumetric. They usually have a lot better support because they really want people to start joining their program. I don't think there's as many people on Monumetric. And by the way, with Ezoic, you don't have to have any page views. You just have to apply pretty much. Monumetric, I think you have to have like 10,000 page views or 25,000 page views a month to be able to apply. So it's pretty low standards, but I mean, if you're there, the switch to Ezoic to Monumetric sometimes is worth it. And then, like I said, I actually have another website that is on Mediavine, and it's doing much better than Ezoic and Monumetric. You can see the RPM is like, the session RPM is basically $27, $28. And in the last couple of weeks, it was even higher. But I do have a lot more traffic here. Like this last month, almost 500,000 page views. So Mediavine, their support is great. Mediavine has great support. I can't say anything better about them. The ads, it's really easy to customize your ads as well. I will say Ezoic and Mediavine, you can be like, hey, I want a ton of ads. I don't want very many ads. I only want image ads. I don't want text ads. To where you can't really do that with Monumetric. And so I guess talking to you, Nico, if I were you, I would go to Ezoic as long as you can, and then skip up to Mediavine. And you can only apply to Mediavine once you have 50,000 sessions a month. So that's actually really important too, the difference between page views and sessions. So you can see, if I scroll down here, you can see my past payments, how much I've made in the last 30 days. So in the last 30 days, I have 328,000 sessions. But if I switch to page views, I have a lot more page views. So the number that they accept is sessions. So the sessions is actually lower than page views. So you got to keep that in mind. But Mediavine, once you get to Mediavine, there's not really any more increasing it. Actually, for this particular niche, I've been on Mediavine so long, and these RPMs have not necessarily made me super happy. I'm curious to see if I switch to Ezoic, that my RPMs might be higher on this website. But the thing is about most of these, Monumetric, for example, and Mediavine both have contracts. So like with Monumetric, if you switch, you have to give them 30 days of notice. The same with Mediavine. If you switch without the 30 days, there's clauses in there where they say they don't have to pay you, the last 30 days. I think Monumetric is like the last 60 days. They just take like 50% of your revenue or 20% of your revenue. It's really interesting how those clauses work. But basically, you have 30 days. You got to give them a 30-day notice. So I guess that kind of goes over display ads. There's also AdThrive, but I don't have a website on AdThrive, so I can't really talk about it. I know a lot of people that have switched from Mediavine to AdThrive, they don't necessarily see a benefit. And I think AdThrive also takes 100,000 monthly sessions, so they're seen as the top tier, even though like they're kind of on par with Mediavine. And again, some people have had Mediavine and they switch to Ezoic, and then they make more money. So it really depends on your niche and what kind of ads you want to display on your website. I'm really happy with how Mediavine's treating me on this big website, though.
One day I can talk about that. I know
You'll get
expertise. It all looks good though.
there. You'll get there. I'm glad I have
I
all
will
these
say Azoic.
experiences to share.
Setting up Azoic was a pain in the rear.
Oh my goodness,
Trying to
yes.
figure all that out.
That's another thing we can talk about. Azoic, pain in the butt to set up. It's like you've got to redirect your name servers. You got to do all this stuff. Monumetric was a little easier. You install a plugin and then they like write custom code for your website. And then Mediavine, like the top tier one that I'm talking about, the page that I'm on right now, it's like you pretty much install a plugin, click activate, and then they do everything else behind the scenes. So I think they wrote some code, maybe not. I think they wrote some custom code for like an ad. And it was super easy. Like they were like, give us 3 days, we'll have your website up and running. And I was like, cool. Whereas
like,
Azoic,
you're like, oh, it's gonna be a week till I figure this out.
you are right about Azoic though. Azoic's like if you blew up a balloon and then you tried to like shave the balloon, like you're like, I don't want to like pop this balloon, and like your site will just go down for like 3 hours because you messed up a domain thing, DNS thing that you have to like wait 3 hours for it to propagate or whatever. So Azoic, they accept anyone, but you've kind of got to know what you're doing when you start getting set up with them.
Yeah, so one way was display ads. What's the second way? How many ways did you have?
I got a bunch. The second way is products. And this is like within products, there's like a bunch of subcategories. So you can sell your own products. You can sell other people's products. You can sell other people's products without even like drop shipping. So I've got a bunch of websites here that I am going to basically just share Flippa. So, or their listings on Flippa. So Flippa is a website brokerage. I think they're a brokerage. I might get that terminology wrong. I've heard people complain the difference about brokerages and exchanges and stuff like that. But anyway, when someone wants to sell a website, they go to flippa.com, put their website up there, and then other people can buy. And I've actually recently won a bid on a website. I didn't tell you this earlier, Nico, but I did win. I have won a website on Flippa. It's in the pet niche. So I'm going to basically buy it and 301 redirect it again. But so I have been a buyer on Flippa. I have not been a seller on Flippa, but maybe we'll get there. So I was going through Flippa, and basically I'm going to share some affiliate websites and how they're doing. So this is the first one. I think I have to log in, actually. We'll see if I'm logged in.
You didn't tell me the name of that URL, did you?
Not yet.
Is it what we talked about earlier?
It's in the pet niche.
Yeah, I know that, but is it what we talked about earlier before the podcast?
Yeah, it is. It is.
It is? You got the service one?
No. That was. We'll talk about that in a minute. All right. So this website right here is listed for $125,000. So that doesn't mean it's going to sell for $125,000 or that it's worth $125,000. That's just what they're asking for. You can see the monthly profit is around 2,500 page views a month, and it only has basically under 5,000 page views a month, which when I saw this, I was like, holy moly, they're doing something right. Whatever they're doing in the affiliate space, I want to take a look at this website and see if there's anything I can learn. So I scrolled down here, and usually you can see these attachments on this Flippa website. And so if I click on this, it should download it. And then when it downloads it, I can drop it up here, and we can look at literally all their revenue. And there's like 14, 15 pages here. Let me see if I can blow this up. So I realized really quickly, they are affiliated with BetterHelp, which is like a mental health service. It's like a counseling thing that you sign up for. And this was November of 2022. So this was technically last month. This BetterHelp one,
3,600.
They made a little over $3,000 from it. And there's some other ones that they have affiliate, teen counseling, Faithful, and all this stuff. But BetterHelp is the main one bringing in most of the money. And like I said, you can just look through this and just learn, like, how are they making money? And it's really cool to go to Flippa and just look at websites that are making like $10,000 a month. And then you just inspect them. You're like, how is this website making money? It's really cool to do research this way. And you can see this goes back all the way to like the end of 2021. And they share all the data. So this was website number one. It literally has less than 5,000 page views a month, but it's making almost $1. Like it's making 75 cents a page view probably, which is really high EPMVs. So this was the first one. The second one that I found that I thought was interesting was this scooter website. Man, Flip is taking a little bit to load today. Electric Scooter Arena. And it's making around $500 a month with 5,000 page views. And the asking price is 10,000. I don't remember if there was any attachments or anything on this. I guess so. So we can click on this, download it, and see what it is. So they basically did actually, this looks like the same format as the other. It might be the same seller. So they're selling, let's see, I don't know what Yumway is, but Yumway must be like a scooter affiliate or something. Oh, they have income from Azoic. That's interesting. And Amazon, they're doing all kinds of affiliate stuff. So I'm assuming scooter sales commissions must be pretty high because electric scooters are like thousands of dollars. So even a 10% will get you a couple $100, which it kind of looks like here, $100. This one, 262. That must have been a refund where it was in the negative there. And I just like looking at some of this stuff to find information. Like we can get, this thing has a ton of pages. Where's the Zoic? Yeah, Zoic is on here. You can see their EPMV is around $11. Actually, it was around $20 in June of 2022. That's interesting. And from overall, they're earning around $100 a month. So that's not bad. Yeah, 105, 98, 91. So that was example 2 of selling affiliate. I actually should have went to their website too. I guess I can show you on this next one. Example of what their posts look like to be an affiliate sale. So this one's about VPNs. So the VPN market, you can make a lot of money if you have a high-ranking VPN website. I'm not even sure if this one shows. It does. So I think CJ is Click Junkie. I'm not actually sure. This is a huge thing.
Dang.
Publisher commission. So the sale amount's like, oh wow, the sale amount was 123 and they paid the affiliate 104. That doesn't seem right. I don't think I have that right. Anyways, they're making money with it. What is a $6,000 win from May to October? Let's just check the website out real quick to see what one of the posts looks like.
That's nice.
So yeah, I'm assuming these links up here are probably where most of the traffic is coming from. So yeah, it's literally just like if you wanted a VPN, and these look like custom images too. They all have the same style. So they've done some designing on this. But wow. Yeah, 6,005. So it's really simple. I could probably, yeah, if I click on this, let's see if it takes us to a page. Cyber Ghost. And then they write a little bit about it. This isn't even a great blog post. This could be definitely improved. But they probably have backlinks or have been in this business for like 3 to 5 years for some longer domain age ranking. This is really interesting. We could definitely create a competitor to this. Anyways, so that's affiliate products. By the way, that pet website that I was talking about, it was, I'm actually signed a, what is it called? It's not a non-compete. It's it's where you're not supposed to share the name of it. I forget what it's called. I can't disclose the information that, the name of it. I guess I can share what I bought it for, but I can't share the name of what I bought. I was looking through how they made money, and it wasn't even through Azoic or display ads. It was only through Amazon affiliate. Technically, there was some Chewy in there, like Chewy.com, like pet food, like dog food. And I thought that was super interesting. So
yeah, TJ, you buy Chewy pet food, so if you just buy it through your link, you get a bounce back.
That'd be interesting. I've always wondered how hard it would be to create a fake website and then fake earnings and then sell it for like 50 grand, 100 grand. And I had that thought, not because that's something I would do, but I had that thought as a buyer. Like, what if I buy a website and then the next month, there's no money coming in because all these sales were faked.
So you said you can't share the URL?
No, I'll have to tell you after this pod. Technically, I'm not supposed to anyways, but I think I can tell a friend. So what's this one? This one is a drop shipping website. Water Pumps Now. It's 12 years old, which that's a big thing, being that old in this space. So it's
250 grand, dang. 5K a month. That's beautiful.
Yeah. And so for those of you that don't know, when you drop ship something, you don't ever touch the product. Someone on your website says, I need this water pump, and it's connected like through software to go to this other website that ships them the water pump. And so you never touch the product. And this is really good. They actually do this a lot with like Amazon and stuff. This is a PDF. Let's do P&L all time just to see if they've got a more recent one. So you've got to be careful opening these. Sometimes people share stuff that have like their names and things in them, and I'm like, you probably should remove your name from that. And like, I don't know, it's interesting. But total income 2 million.
eBay fees, does that say 7,000? Or no, that's 11 grand.
Refunds 218,000. Wow.
They spent 44K on advertising.
Which it makes sense. The reason that they're probably selling is because it's only making $5,000 a month, which they probably have a graph down here that shows. Oh, they do not. Let's look at P&L 2021. So this would have been a long time ago, actually, because we're at the end of 2022. Oh, this was all time. This was since 2014.
Oh.
That makes sense, I guess. Insurance, payroll. That's really interesting. Wow. $115,000 in payroll. This was an actual business, I guess. Anyways, that's one example of like drop shipping. I've got two more here. I actually forgot exactly what this one sold. It has to do with bees though. 2.74 million. $7,000 a month.
75. Wow.
That's a really small profit multiple.
If we go 10 months, you make your money back.
This was an Excel sheet, which I'm not going to open because I'm only sharing my Chrome screen right now. But I wonder why they're selling. Their revenue is probably like slowly going down. Probably due to competitors. I know dropshipping has grown in skyrocketed in popularity. What was the last one here? This last one was sofas. And as you can imagine, I'm getting ready to buy some furniture myself. Nico and I actually went to Nebraska Furniture Mart. When was that? Last week? 2 weeks ago? There are some digits on sofa. Those things are expensive. This one did, in the last 12 months, it's done 1.3 million with 16,000 a month profit. Wow, this is
0.9. Dang.
What's this deck? This is usually like a PowerPoint of like why they're. Oh yeah.
Dang it! I like how presentable it looks.
It was only founded in late 2019 with 5 people. All right, so this is why they're selling it. I actually wanted to mention this. A lot of these websites on Flippa, if you have a website that's going up and it's making more money, you're probably not going to want to sell it. You're probably going to be like, how much money is this thing going to be making in like 3 months? But if you're starting to lose money, you're like, oh, how can I squeeze in more profits? How can I lock in my gains? And as you can see here, the profit is the blue line, which actually I'm really surprised that the profit didn't fall as much as the revenue did. That's interesting. But you can see that the revenue really fell. And then so they're probably like, you know what, we're ready to move on to something else that's interesting. And usually they try to really convince you that like, hey, buy this thing. And that's exactly what you can see what this is here. Growth opportunity, send out more emails, list related products, Amazon, Walmart. So I'm actually curious if this thing's actually selling sofa.
What's the URL?
Miracle Sofa. What did it say down here? They had emails. Yeah, they have 292,000 email subscribers. Wow, that's a pretty big list.
Oh yeah, that's drop shipping still, right?
Yeah, so they're not making these. That's impressive. Oh, these are cushion covers. I was like, a $80 couch?
Huh.
Is that all they're selling, is it?
I think it might not be drop shipping. It looks like a whole business. Unless they're just selling the cover.
No products. Yeah, they've got some stuff to work on, it looks like. But, I mean, they have obviously been making money, so they know what they're doing somewhat. So that's drop shipping. That's selling product. It's kind of like affiliate marketing, except you don't really sell another brand's thing. You basically, so the difference between affiliate marketing and drop shipping, I guess, real quick, is that with affiliate marketing, someone else has a brand and you go, hey, look at this brand. Look how good it is. And then you get someone to go and buy that. With drop shipping, you actually become the brand, but you get the product from someone else. So you don't make it. You're like, I want to make amazing couch company. And I'll just buy all my couches from China. That's not always true. I said China because like Alibaba and stuff like that. It's really easy to buy cheap things from Alibaba, and I think there's another one, AliExpress maybe. But that's what drop shipping is basically. You source your product from somewhere else, then you basically stamp your name on it and then ship it out to the customer. And usually you don't even see the product. You just tell them where to put your like logo and stuff. So that's kind of the difference between affiliate marketing and dropship marketing, dropship like products. All right, so I've got some really interesting ones here. So there's also products that aren't affiliate and aren't dropship, and it's just selling like a service or a product that you've created. So this first one here is called, I think it's Oxford Notes. And so what they've done.
These are the sites you showed me.
Yeah, I thought this was really cool. So you can explain this if you want, or I can explain it.
It's all you, man.
I didn't completely
did a lot more research on it.
They have a YouTube video explaining what they did, but as far as I understand, this Oxbridge is for its legal education space. So there's like a college or something that's about legal, like they're teaching law students. And so what they do is they take students that have graduated and they basically buy their notes. And then the students that are currently in college, I do these things all the time with my hands. So the students that have graduated, they have notes. And then the students that are trying to graduate, they want those notes because like it's going to help them pass the class. And so basically they're the middleman that said, hey, we'll buy your notes and we'll sell them to these people. And they're making $2,000 a month with it. It's actually a really old website. Like I looked at how it was, it's not WordPress. I think it's Ruby on Rails is what it's created on. So it's it's pretty old. But like they're making money. There's a decent traffic dip in the summer, which makes sense because it's college.
If they could like make the UI of the site a lot better, where it's like, hey, this is a really good looking site in a process, they probably could bump it up a lot.
Yeah, when I went to the website, it looked old. This is, what is this? $38,000 received. I guess just proof of funds. So that's, actually, what was that? 27,000 emails. It's really cool that sometimes when you buy these, you get other stuff like Facebook or a Twitter account or this email list of 27,000 people. That's something else that like props up the value of some of these websites. And that's the first
while to build lists. I've thought about starting to build a list.
It would be interesting to go through some more. I haven't looked at all the Flippa listings to see which ones have lists and which don't. Some websites have lists that I'm like, I would have never thought that a website in that niche would need a list. But they do. So this second website in the your own product niche is basically tutoring. So they've developed a product that connects people who want to be tutored with people that are willing to tutor someone, and they just connect them. And you can see here 20,000 registered tutors. They're making around $4,000 a month, and they're trying to sell it for 166. It looks like the reserve is 186, which is interesting. And then if we scroll down here, it always makes me nervous when there's like a huge uptick, because if something is like this, like what caused that huge uptick? 23,000 email subscribers. They don't have any data down here or anything.
I like the Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. That's nice.
Yeah, the social medias that come along with it. I did go to this website. I don't think they focus on US people. I think it's outside the US. But I did go to the website and it looked like a decent website. I was like, this would be a decent acquisition if I was what is that? What is that education company called? Duolingo? Because it looked like a lot of them were teaching other languages. So, and then the last one, this is what Nico asked me if I was going to purchase. This is very similar, where they're just connecting two people and they're selling it as a product. This is called.
It's only 2 years old. Wow.
100K sales in the last month, $6,000 a month on profit.
TJ, that's less than the car you were gonna buy.
You don't say that. Oh, the total, the $50,000, that is less. I thought you were talking about this. I was like, $6,000 a month car. But yeah, $50,000, that was less than the GT350 I was looking at. That's actually that. I guess the reserve is 90, which means they don't want to sell it unless it's more than 90. I don't know why they ask for such a low and then the reserve is different. Maybe someone can answer that in the YouTube comments. Anyways, profit 8,000, 9,700, 2,000. The profits really went down recently, which is, again, is probably why they're selling it. I think this is called like it's not really a distressed asset. It's just,
if you purchased it and put it onto a site that was bringing in a lot of people.
Yeah, like the website that I'm building in the pet space, if you give me 3 years, I might purchase this website. I don't want to purchase it yet because I think that 50 grand can be spent better elsewhere. And that's pretty much what I'm doing. But if this site pops up again in like 3 years and it's 50 grand, that might be a great place. I wish they shared analytics.
And the nice thing is then that site doesn't just rely on Google display ads. Like it's actually a service.
Yeah. So they're actually selling like a product. So let's see, in total revenue, I wonder why the revenue is like an exact number. I wonder if it's what they're selling is like exactly like $100 or $50 or something like that. Wow, they have some huge expense, which this SEO, this is probably content creation. They actually spend a lot of money on advertising and contract work, which is, again, this is probably SEO or content writing. October, this was a couple months ago. You can see they're making, that's really interesting. Like earlier in the year, they were making more money, and so they spent more money on content. Now they're making less money, and they're spending less money on content, which is kind of a little red flag for me. I wonder why it went down so much. Must be just page views, like SEO hit them or something.
Bring back in those page views.
Yeah, those targeted people that are wanting to.
And I'm really interested on, what's the name of that puppy connector? Maybe I can replicate that, but within my niche. We'll not talk about my niche.
Yeah, no, you're good. So basically the last 3 things that I did, the tutoring, the puppy connector, and the Oxbridge notes, they're basically taking someone who wants something and someone who has something and like connecting them together. And the way that they're doing it is they're charging one or both people. And it's a really good business model because you end up with both people being happy. But the point of me sharing this is that think about in your niche or some website that you have. Could you do that? Could you set up a service where some of the people coming and reading your articles and maybe want something, and then some of the people reading other articles have something, and you can just like connect them together and make them both happy? And I guess you could be happy as well because you could charge them. Yeah, this puppy connector, when I went to it, it seemed like a legit website. Like they're probably, it wouldn't surprise me if like these dogs right here, like they were like, hey, we'll buy this dog from you for $300 if we sell it, and then they charge $400, and then basically if they get a sale, they just contact that dog owner and work it all through. Again, I haven't looked at this to make sure that's actually how it works, but it seems to be the case.
I think I got some ideas. I might double down on what we talked about earlier, Theodore.
I would love to see you succeed with something like this because then I could copy it.
Everybody, just so you know, Google has been, I'm like, this is Google, and I'm like, please give me some money. And Google's like, pow.
Literally, if they approve you, I know the space that you're in, your RPMs will be high. So even 30 clicks a day, I don't want to guess how much money you'll be making, but it'll be a decent amount. You'll be surprised. So you are right. If Google would just be like, finally, Nico, join the club, the cash will be rolling in.
Kid on the outside that they're like, sucks to suck.
Also,
you ugly man.
Your traffic graph also is like this.
Yeah,
so your next income report, your traffic report is going to blow people's minds.
It's right now, 10 days in, is double than what it was the whole last month.
You're doing something right.
And I keep doing more of it. I want to hit 200 articles by July.
That's doable. Especially AI assisted.
If I double down on the AI assisted and figure out a good process for creating solid articles, could probably higher than 200 by the end of July.
That's true. You can probably be at a space where you could hire an editor to go back through and add some spice to each article.
I looked at the cost for 100 articles. If I had an A+, like you do 180 per article, that's 18 grand to go through what I already have right now.
Really?
For 100 articles.
Dang.
How do you not know this?
What service
You've had a girl going through your whole site.
Well, I will say there's money coming in. So yeah. I'm okay putting it. I'm okay being like, just take some of this back. Just take some work on it, make it a little better. In a couple months, we'll have something working out. So I'm okay putting money back into the site, but 108, man, from scratch though, that's scary.
Yeah, 18,000. That's like.
So this other website that I found, I guess this is another like niche of where you can monetize your blog.
That's cool.
This one I'm going to call digital products. And I'll preface this. Digital products are much easier to sell to a warm audience. So warm is a term that means like they kind of know who you are. They're ready to buy, like they have a problem and they just want to solve it. So this one is a 21-year-old blog. That's ridiculous, by the way. 21 years is a long, like, I have friends who weren't even 21, who aren't even 21 years old. I have family. I shouldn't say family. Like my son's like almost a year. So, but it's
Dang,
making.
I looked at this. These sites can use some refurbishment.
Some of them are pretty ancient. What is this? Stripe monthly revenue. Also, they don't do the best at like showing you. Wow. So they're definitely making money. What is this? Last 12 months. All right. You can see why they're selling it. This purple line is how much they're making. You can see it's like high. It goes a little lower, high, lower, 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 lower. So it's like on a downhill trajectory, which again, probably why they're selling the website. 61,000 email subscribers.
What
Dang.
if you got like, you paid, I mean, like, if you were making $2,000 a month, you're like, let me get someone who's reputable in the music industry and pay them to create a class on here. Because like, and then be like, oh, now more people's coming because they're really interested in this person.
Or update this. Look at these links. These are so tiny.
Yeah, this I could do real nice for refurbishment. A good copywriter running in.
Oh yeah, this is like, I mean, I guess these are testimonials, but I could design this page really well compared to what it is right now. So that's interesting. And what they've done is they're basically selling a course. I should have looked at their sitemap. I don't even know if that was WordPress or not, but so I guess I only found one of them that does courses. I found another one that I thought actually made money in a way that I knew was possible, but I didn't know it made this much money. Oh wait, no, this is a course website. They sell courses. Basically $4,000 a month. I have no idea why they're making $4,000 a month, asking $4,000. There's something wrong there.
Oh, look at that graph.
What's this? WooCommerce says 4,000. Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, if you go to their homepage, it just says, oops, that page can't be found. Oh, there we go. Never mind.
The exact same thing happened to me. It was like, oops. Oh, we found it.
They sell a lot of everything. Oh, just kidding. Like they only have like 9 courses.
I think you got to be careful with these because I think you can. This could be like a not okay website. Like,
yeah, if you go to courses, this looks a little interesting. Like buy admin and business money making.
Like sketchy.
Yeah, a little bit. I wouldn't pay for this site if that's what you're asking. Like I wouldn't buy a course. Super
slow. Yeah, this is interesting. These look really old. Zoom Master. Anyways, apparently this website sells courses. I don't know if it's actually making money. I don't know if I would trust just a screenshot of a WordPress dashboard, but there you go. It's an example. Another way that you can make money is through memberships. So courses are kind of a one-time thing, and I can speak about this for a minute because I've tried 2 membership sites. So courses are kind of a one-time thing. So you create a course that solves a very specific problem, and then you work really hard on it. You polish it, make it all clean, and then you give it to someone and it solves their problem. You're like, great. Now I just got to do this multiple times. I just got to work on my SEO so that people from Google just come to the site and then buy. That's super easy to do. The problem is they don't come back. So you got to keep getting more customers. Memberships, on the other hand, are much more, I don't know if lucrative is the right term. Memberships are usually for things where people are learning something, or they want to be in a group of people to help them continue their skills. So a great example would be like if DoubleCommaDreams created like a membership, and it was like, our membership, when you join the membership, the access you get are to Nico and I, and then also everyone else who's in the membership. So another great example of this is actually there's some, I forget what it's called. I think it's something Tiger or Tiger something. And what they do is you have to make more than $10 million a year. Actually, I think it's have more than $10 million in like assets of things that you own. And they just get all those people to join this thing. It's like 30 grand a year. But the interesting thing is now you have the ability to talk to other people who have $10 million. And so when that becomes a thing, you can ask them questions that you wouldn't be able to find people normally to ask them questions like, how do I pay my kid so I can avoid taxes? And like, you don't really want to ask that type of question to the everyday person. And it's really hard to find someone who has $10 million because usually people of higher net worth are more private and secure about their money. So what they did was they're like, pay 30 grand a year. You can join this membership of other people who make 10 million or more. And there's obviously people in there that make 100 million, that have $100 million. You get like a community of people that are like-minded and in a similar situation. They can share their problems and their wins and stuff like that. So that's kind of I share that story to give you the idea of the benefit of memberships. So if I could be around other people who are building a niche site and they were like, hey, I tried this experiment and it worked. And I was like, oh, that's cool. Let me replicate it, see if it works for me. Or if I was like, yo, I tried this 301 redirecting thing and it like doubled my traffic, or this Fiverr gig that like quadrupled my traffic, that would be really helpful to me to join a community like that. And I'm going on a little tangent here to tell you why memberships are beneficial to people. It's not necessarily a product or something. It's just being around other like-minded people that have the same problems. But the key to memberships is they're much more lucrative because someone that joins a membership is like, you don't have to sell them again. It's like next month, they're still going to pay the fee. The next month, if they still like the membership, they'll just keep paying the fee. And so you could have a $15 a month membership that's like super easy to join because it's $15 a month that someone just stays in for 4 years and you can make a bunch of money off of that.
Do you think that only applies for like skills and everything, or can that be for like products too? So like if you're selling coffee and you're like, be a part of this coffee club, like.
Oh yeah. You can definitely do that as well. Like what are those box? There's a bunch of businesses out there that sell like, we have this $30 box that will ship to your house every month. Actually, for my father-in-law, the gift that I got him for Christmas was actually, I think it's called Watch Gang. And what you do is they send you a watch every month. And I know that he's going to be so excited. He's going to talk to me about it every month it comes in. He's going to call me up and be like, you got to come see this watch that they just sent me. And so, yeah, it's like X dollars per month. And then he just gets like, it's shipped to him. And there's obviously other ones. There's like, I was subscribed to one that did like a crime scene. It was like every month they gave you like a crime scene thing to solve with like clues and stuff. Yeah. It was a lot of fun. But yeah, those are like whole business models. Those aren't even around like blogs or niches or anything like that. So that's a whole nother rabbit tunnel.
Yeah, you could do for candles, like send you a new candle every month.
You love that candle. By the way, I'm super interested to smell the candles that you bought for me. Are they all different flavors, by the way?
Yeah, one's like Oreo, one's Cookie Crunch, Fruity Pebbles.
Oh my goodness. I can't wait till it gets here.
Yeah, Christmas season's a little busy though, so it might be a moment. We have bad times for birthdays.
Your engine intake manifold is on back order too. That might be February when we get that, by the way. I know it's going to be a while. Anyways.
Oh my. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah. All right. So oh, this was on ebook. I think these websites sell an ebook. So this one is making $8,000 a month and they're asking basically $250,000. I don't remember if I could find it down here or not. What is this? PDF? So you can also sell ebooks, which are very similar to courses or digital products, but it's just like you wrote a book and then you just sell it. And I will say, I think you make a lot more money selling something through your own website than through Amazon, like Kindle. But it's an option. Flippa thinks I'm a bot or something, so I'm going to... Oh, it downloaded it. All right. All right, I think I opened the wrong one. That was weird. So here you can see they literally list all the ways they make money. Zoic, Mediavine, Amazon, whatever these are, ebook. So what is ebook? Page 77. So let's go to page 77.
77?
Yeah, this is like a whole PowerPoint right here they're putting together for us. So how to make money in this niche.
I think when you move up here, Theodore, I think we should do in-person podcasts.
That would be interesting.
I don't feel, I will say this, I've noticed this the last couple episodes, I don't feel as connected just watching the screen with you. Like, I think the vibe of both of us would be better in person.
We can talk about this after the pod. We could set up something like with a really cool background and stuff and cameras.
Yeah, we'll figure something out. But I was just thinking about that. I'm like, it just doesn't feel as authentic. I mean, it is authentic. We're just talking, but I'm like, in person would be fun.
That's interesting. Let me write that down.
And like have a camera zone where it's like you're showing me something on the computer and we're both just hovered around the computer with the screen on it.
Yeah, we'll have to think really deliberately about how we would set that up because you know, the show Impulsive. That one's really easy to listen to because they literally just have a conversation and talk to each other, but they don't have screens. So I'm not sure. Like we'd have to figure out how to involve screens. Like we would like those TVs you can grab on the TV and move or whatever.
Oh
If
yeah.
if we did something like that and we got like a Bluetooth keyboard and mouse, so we just like grab the TV down and then like, hey, look at this, and then we switched what the viewers see to the screen or whatever. That'd be kind of cool. But you are right. This whole episode has been something that you have to watch. It's kind of be hard to listen to.
Yeah.
So yeah, this one they shared ebooks, which was I just wanted to throw this in here because I was looking for something that sold ebooks, and apparently they sell ebooks on this SHTF, which stands for it's a prepper website pretty much. When poop hits the fan. What else did I have here? Oh,
so you
leads.
Tell me your URL.
Which one?
Keep going. Sorry, keep going.
Yeah,
leads. That's a good one. I'm excited for that one.
So it used to be back in the day, you could make a website that was like plumbersnearme.com, and that's probably a real website. I didn't check before I said that. Probably should be careful. And then you just do like plumbers in Arizona, plumbers in Florida, plumbers in Missouri, and then you do that for every state. And then on each one of those, whenever someone goes there, it detects where they live and it recommends them local plumbers. So if someone's in Phoenix, Arizona, and they go to plumbersnearme.com, again, I made that website up.
You did not make that up. It's an actual
there.
site.
Oh my goodness. It was too good of a domain name. I should have came up with something else. Anyways, what you do is you go, oh, this person's in Phoenix, Arizona. Let's call up some plumbers in Phoenix, Arizona and tell them every person we refer to their business, if they give us $100, we'll just keep sending them people. And then so basically you set up your website with blog content and you start ranking, and then you start sending people to those businesses, and they're like, they just get out their checkbook and they're like $100 here, another $100, because you keep referring them people. And so you're referring them customers, and then they pay you for that. And usually leads sell for a lot of money. So it's like $100 a person. What's that?
TJ, this Plumbers Near Me sells a spot on their website for $10 a day. They don't guarantee traffic, but you got to pay $10 a day to be on there. Priority listings as low as $10 a day, depending on market size and availability.
Oh my goodness. 5 point. Oh, this is not how many people they get. This is how many people type in Plumbers Near Me. $10.
Imagine 1,000 people giving you $10 a day, or 100 people.
All right, just to be clear, that's $300 a month. And so if you get 100 people, 100 plumbers in the whole United States to do this, what is that? 300 times 100, 30,000 a month. Dang.
TJ, we got work to do later.
We got work to do. I'd be real curious to see.
They're not selling this site on Flippa, so it still must be doing well.
Really interesting. Top cities. What's in here? Does it actually show a bunch of... So we can assume each one of these is paying them $10. Oh, wow. Huh. We stumbled upon something great. And of course, you could do this for all kinds of things. Doctors near me, lawyers near me, HVAC cleaning near me, lawnmower near me. I have actually 2 examples here. I might as well just pull them up that I found on Flippa. So this one sells leads. It specifically sells leads to, I think Flippa thinks I'm attacking their website or something because I'm loading so many pages. This is Canadian dollar, I'm assuming, at $1,200 a month. They're selling it for $46. What they do is they sell loans. So people are typing in like, get a loan in Canada, cheap and easy. And then they find this website, and then this website's like, yo, you should go to this business and get a loan. And then people go to that business, get a loan, and then that business pays this website for that loan. And it looks like, oh, wow, that's a big revenue spike. Photo Pluto. All right, I'm not going to open that because I don't know what that is. So they're making money. And then I also found this other one, which does real estate leads. So like if you want to sell a house, and the only thing I said real estate is because it says your #1 source for real estate. I think if I open this up, it doesn't actually load. But they got a huge, also something to be weary of when they call it evidence of revenue, and then the picture looks like this.
They haven't had orders in like 2 months.
Yeah, they called it evidence too. Like they're trying to prove a case here. This website isn't even up. So I'm not sure why it's on platform Wix. So they just didn't pay their Wix bill. How long has this listing been up? Probably shouldn't slander them. I'm sure they actually made a few $1,000s while they were up. But anyways, I just wanted to show that you could use leads to monetize your website as well. And leads are usually super high RPMs. Like I said, if there are 100 targeted customers and 3 people do it, like call to the plumbing thing and they end up buying the plumbing service from that company might pay you $300. And obviously, if it's like dental surgery or insurance, those type of things pay like $300 to $500 per lead. They're like they pay an outrageous amount per customer because those, like if you're getting
dental, make that back per customer.
If you go to a doctor and you get a $250,000 surgery, like they'll gladly pay you $10,000 to send them that customer. Or lawn mowing.
VPNs, I don't know how what they're paying, but holy cow.
Yeah, VPNs, they usually pay pretty well. I think they're starting to get competitive, which means like basically the prices are going, affiliate marketing is like going down a little bit. Also, a ton of people made VPN affiliate websites in the past like year because someone made I don't remember who it was. It may have been a couple people, but shared how much money they're making. And then everyone's like, I got to have a VPN website. So that's kind of a saturated niche now.
It's crazy when people are like, oh, this is making so much money. I want to do this. Like, stop going to the next dress, brother. Why not just make yours make that much money?
I like that. We should clarify that analogy, the red dress analogy.
I've heard it from Alex. It's not my own. So
often we like to look at things that are shinier than what we have. Oh, by the way, I got two more websites to share. We're almost at an hour now, so this podcast is perfect. This one's called Small House Decor, and what they do, how they make money is they literally sell sponsored post. So look at this. Sponsored post April to June. April, $500. May, almost $300. June, $600. July, $1,000 from selling sponsored posts. Now you don't want to make.
You're getting paid to put content on your site to then rank.
I was just about to preface it. If you do this for years, Google will be like, they're linking out to some sketchy websites. Google does not like this. You can definitely make money with it. Like this, $1,000 in July. But also sometimes the posts that you post are not the best. Now, if you create the content yourself around keywords that you want to rank for anyways, and then you're like, hey, this person's paying me $500 and they have a useful link. Why don't I just let both of us win? Like I win with the money and they win with the link. Then you can do that. But I definitely wouldn't be doing a bunch of sponsored posts that are just crap links. Like I could probably stick this into Ahrefs and see what they're linking to. But I don't want to do that on the pod. Looks like they also have Ezoic and Amazon, which they're making a decent amount of money from Amazon and Ezoic, it looks like. Interesting. And the last one I wanted to share, which was, I don't even remember what this one was called. Oh, this was a copywriting agency. So basically you buy this and you get their agency. So they have customers that come to them and be like, hey, we have a sales page or we have a Facebook ad that we want written. And then this website is like, we'll write it for you. You just pay us. And if we scroll down here, pricing and projects, and then revenue, I'm not going to open either one of those up because I've kind of beat a dead horse, showed you guys all this proof and stuff and how you can do it yourself. But they're asking $35,000 for something that's making $2,000 a month. So it's kind of cool that you can actually go through Flippa and just look at websites that are making money. And then you can actually like put on your like inspector goggles and be like, how are they making that money? Is that something I could do? Is that something I could like learn from? And maybe like just doing this myself, I actually learned a new method that I can apply to my website that probably could work pretty well. It was actually one of these websites here that was doing it. So I don't want to give it away. There's like, so that actually wraps up all the monetization methods that I came up with, which we'll review them and then we'll talk about some other stuff. Does that sound good, Nico?
That sounds good. I'm excited for some of these episodes. You just take lead and I'm fine with you taking lead because you've really prepared a lot of it. I'm excited for the episodes where you're like, Nico, navigate this ship. And I'm like, hop on, Theodore, we're going.
I can't wait to ride. That sounded weird. You know what I mean, though. So, all right, let's recap. Number one, display ads, which You can go through Google Ads, Zoic, Monumetric, Mediavine, AdThrive, or you could even, we didn't talk about this, you could even, if you could be like, yo, you want to advertise on my website, it's $300 a month, click this link and email me. You can do that too. That's also display ads. Number 2, products. You can have affiliate products where you sell other people's products. You can have your own products where you sell things that you've created. And you can have drop shipping products where you sell a product that someone else has made, but you say that it's your own. That's products. Number 3 is digital products, which is different than actual products because you're not shipping anything. You're just selling a course or an ebook or a membership or even a PDF. People love buying PDFs, especially if they're like under $10. Those super easy thing to sell. After that, we also talked about leads. So now we're at 4. Leads make a lot of money. They're really hard to like nail though. And then after that, we kind of talked about basically selling sponsored posts. So that's, I guess, the 5th one. Oh, and services. So this one right here could be classified as a service because you're literally buying like, the way you're making money is you're doing work for someone else. So it's kind of like a, you're buying a business.
Yeah.
But yeah, that kind of wraps it up.
Yeah, I think I have a couple ways on how I want to monetize my site now. Or just test it out. I mean, the hard thing is like Google Ads are really nice, mainly because I can just keep writing content and what's growing my site. But the other one is like, man, that's lucrative if I can automate the other side of just growing my site.
Yeah, I will say on that note, I have made money through courses, through memberships, through like display ads on websites. Last month? I made like almost $300,000 just from a course. It was a course / membership that e-product launch. And I'm taking that money and I'm putting it into basically websites that I'm not going to say all the money and probably not even half the money, but I'm really working on growing websites that make money with display ads. And the reason for that is like if I could choose between, doing a product launch that makes $250,000 or a website that brings in 10 grand, I would choose the website that brings in 10 grand a month every time, because you don't have to keep doing work to get it to make money. You just build it once and then the money just flows in. It's all passive. And I will say you're also helping people with it. Like I shouldn't just focus on the money. Like the website that I built that makes 10 grand a month, like it helps a ton of people. Like I wish I could share the niche, but we'll get there one day. The thing I wanted to share for the end of this podcast was that website that I bought. It was my first ever wire transfer. So,
oh yeah, how'd that go?
It was very interesting. I asked the banker all kinds of questions, and they probably got suspicious because I was asking so many questions, and they asked me a bunch of like questions that I think they had to ask me because it was a wire transfer, or maybe it was because I was sketchy asking a bunch of questions.
How much? Can you tell me how much it was? Are you gonna say on the podcast? Or are you gonna?
It was between $8,000 and $9,000.
Oh, that's not bad.
It's not bad. I didn't buy some $250,000 website, but so yeah, you just whoever is initiating the wire transfer, they're like, here's the info you need to send this wire transfer to. And then of course I printed it off and I went into the bank and I was like, can I do a wire transfer to this? And they're like, yeah, and come sit down with me. And I was a little nervous because I was like, are they going to think like, they asked me a lot of questions that was like, basically, are you sure you want to send this money? I'm going to sum up the questions they asked. Like, are you sure you want to send this money? Are you sending this money to someone that you trust? Are you sending this money to someone that you're sure is not a terrorist? And I was like, yes.
Oh, that makes sense.
Of course, I sent it to escrow. So it's like escrow.com. Like their whole business model is they're the middleman. So I just sent them money. And then when the transaction is done, they send the seller the money. But anyways, the wire transfer, really interesting. It was a lot easier than I thought. I thought it was going to be all kinds of stuff. I went in, gave them a piece of paper. Honestly, if I didn't ask questions, it would have been over in like 2 to 3 minutes, but it probably took 15 minutes because I was like, what's the difference between a wire transfer and an ACH? And then the guy explained it to me. And of course, he had to stop what he was doing when he was explaining it to me. And I was like, well, why do people do wire transfers? And he's like, well, they're basically non-refundable. Like once it goes through, there's no getting it back. And then I had more questions.
You can't like refund, be like, oh, I got all my stuff too.
Yeah. So ACHs, he's like, with ACH, it's like 2 to 3 days. You could be like, I want to charge that back. He didn't say charge back. I forget what he said, but like you can get it back. But wire transfers, once you've hit he's like, he actually told me, he's like, once I step out of this room and I click this button, there's no going back. Are you sure? And I was like, I'm sure. So that
You're
was
like, oh, let me double check.
He also, when he typed in like the escrow.com the information for the wire transfer, he was like, "Oh, the bank popped up automatically. That's always a good sign." So I guess there's some people
So
that
what
come
does
in
this
there.
say of another country?
Yeah, is this to a sanctioned country? So no, it was a very, I was grateful for how it went. Like, it wasn't super stressful, and I didn't. They asked me some questions.
Funding the war.
They were no. They were just asking regular questions. So, I think the person I bought it from is from Australia, actually.
Oh, that's cool.
Probably shouldn't share too much information on this pod.
Yeah, I know. Since you can't even share the URL. Man, I'm excited to get working on the site because I have some ideas now.
I can't wait for you to get monetized. I think I might be more excited. You'll probably be more excited than me, but I'm gonna be super excited, like cheering you on. I want to see what your RPMs are. Your traffic is doing this. Like,
I wonder if I create a lead magnet service, if Google sees it and they're like, well, he's making money not off of us. Let me just But
marriage is great.
Marriage is great. Maybe we'll have a podcast about websites. We are about websites and marriage and boundaries and expectations. That's going to be a juicy one.
Yeah,
I have not seen anybody make that video before. Actually,
we can tease
I don't think
it.
I've ever seen someone talk about that.
We can tease it. Like, what are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about, like, all right, I'll give one example. We don't have to get into it in this episode, but like one example, when I first started blogging, when money came in, my wife was like, "Cool, money, we can spend it." And like, from a business perspective, I'm like, "No, I want to put that back into the business so that I don't have to work as much.
I want to caress this dog,
this growing thing. I want to water this plant."
Which, if you haven't joined our email list and you're at this point, we have 4 members on our email list right now. And last time we asked them what they wanted to be included in this video, none of them responded, but they opened. So we do appreciate that.
It's so cool. With ConvertKit, you can see who opens, which I've done this for a while, but so we sent out an email to 4 people, and I was like, I wonder how many people are going to open it. And in the email, I was like, hit reply if you have any ideas, which I should have been more specific, I guess. Actually, we wrote the email together. I shouldn't say I wrote the email.
You wrote the email. I just looked at it.
I'm glad I have proofreader, but it says 100% opened. So now I can say that we've written an email that has 100% open rate. There's only 4 people in it, but
it's like graduating the top of a class of 6 candidates.
We got it. We that's actually something interesting. We can end on this. Because we made it so hard to be on the email list, like, it's not like you go to a website. Like, the easiest would be like, go sign up or go to this website, put your email in, and we'll send you $10. That would be super easy because people will be like, whoa, I want $10. The other end of that is like us not even telling them where they can go. They literally have to send us an email. And because we made it so hard to sign up to our email list, at least, I don't know, maybe we'll sign up, make a lead magnet or something in the future. But because we've made it so hard, you go,
what?
Why am I still sharing my screen?
I don't know, man.
Well, I need to get better about that. I do. So because we made it so hard for people to sign up to our email list, the people that are signed up are like, yo, we're in your crowd. We're in it for the long haul. We like your content. So I really appreciate that. Thank you guys and gals, everyone who's signed up to that email list, the 4 of you, we know who you are. We appreciate you.
We do appreciate you guys. You guys are great. We will have another email coming out in the next day or two talking about our next podcast episode, which I want to do. The next one be expectations with people in your life around your sites and how you focus on time.
That's true. So we mentioned spouse and like marriages, not even that, just other people in our life. We just want to talk about, hey, I got a business to run. I'm going to have to like do that later. Or
yeah, speaking of, like you said, last topic, but speaking of that, I canceled with her parents. They asked if I wanted to go watch the game, like the Chiefs game.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, no, like there's some stuff I need to catch up on. And it was weird telling people like, hey, I can't hang out with you. I got work to do.
Yeah. We can also talk about how people look at you for that too. Cause I remember when I just got started, everyone was like, oh, you want to be a YouTuber? And hold on one second. Now I've got this.
Okay, TJ, flex, huh?
I don't know.
Well, TJ, they have family happiness, and you have plaques.
I got plaques. I guess a little bit more than plaques, but it works. But I do remember, like, I don't know, being nervous to tell people what I did because I didn't want them to think I was some crazy guy doing pranks, just ruining my life. making weird videos. That's not what I was doing, but it felt like that when I told people. So we can talk about that in the next episode.
Yeah. It's been good, guys.
If you're not subscribed, we're trying to remember to tell people to subscribe, because the more often you tell them to subscribe and why to subscribe, people subscribe more. So if you like this episode, you should subscribe and hit that bell icon so that you can see our next episode, which goes over managing relationships and maybe spousal, like romantic relationships, while you're trying to grow a blog or a YouTube channel or any business for that matter. We're just going to share our personal experiences. I'm literally right now, I'm kind of like going over the intro for that. So I'm going to go ahead and hop off here. This has been a great episode.
Let's try to create where put your finger on mine, and we're going to do a little other side, an outro touch, and there'll be an explosion.
All right. That was a good one.
All right.